I'm going to teach you how to fit your brand new one blade's edge to a new pair of boots. Let's get into the video. So this is what you need to fit your one blade's edge to your boots. You need your frames, you need your boots, you need the screws, then you're going to need the drill bit. So I'm using the 2.5 here. So we use the drill bit. And then I also use one of these, which has a point in it, to mark the hole. And then afterwards, once you've marked the hole, it's much easier to get the drill in the right place to then to drill the hole. You can also use a pen as well. I just find using a drill bit, so if you have those. So that is exactly what you need, and then you need your drill as well. And the last thing you need is a way to measure to find the center. So now I'm going to show you how to find the center. I've already found the center on these, but I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So have your pen handy and ready. So I'm just going to set that to the side. Then this is what I do. I hold on 1 centimeter, and then this is a small 220 millimeter. So the smaller boots are harder to do because there's no getting around how wide the frame needs to be because all the wheels are the same width. So it's tight. You know, when you go on a bigger boot, it's going to be wider. So this is what I do. I hold 1 centimeter, and for the 220, I'm holding 7 centimeters. So you know exactly where that is. And the center is the center. It doesn't matter where you measure. I always measure 2 points, and then I line it up so I can see the front and the back to line the frames up. So I hold 1 centimeter, and on these I'm holding 7. If you're on a bigger frame, you could hold 8, 9, it doesn't matter. But around here and around here is going to give you a nice straight line. So you hold 1 centimeter, and I hold 7, and then you just move along until the edge of your nail on each 1 and 7 is perfect. So that is exactly there. Then you just hold that in place, and then you would take your pen and then you would mark it just like I have there. And then you do the same at the back. So at the back here, I'm going to hold 1 and I'm going to hold 5, and you want to line that up. So here it's not perfectly like 4 centimeters, or I should say, yeah, 4 centimeters, but you line it up so it mirrors. So it mirrors exactly, and that is just there. And then you would hold it in place and you would mark it. Then you have 2 points of contact. Then you take your measure and you hold them in line just like that. And then once you've found your center there, just like that, then you would mark the front, and you would also then make sure it's perfectly lined up like that. You would then mark the back, and that is how you find the center of your boot. So once you've got that, then what do? You take your frame, and you want this to be right at the front. So you can use this center to find out where the center is there. And you do want this to be flush here. You want that to be right at the front. So what we can do, we take the frame and we align that up so it's right at the front. You do not want it, what you don't want to do, you don't want it to be going over. You want it to be right at the front. You want it to be flush. So we take that right at the front there. You can just use your thumb. And then now we've got the center line at the back here where you want to line this up. So you want to hold this in the center there, because you can eyeball this, and on the frames you can kind of see where the center is just here. Okay, so we line that up there, and then we line that up at the center there. So that is bang in the center. Now, something else that you could do if you wanted, you could draw a line down the center, but then you're marking all the bottom. And personally, I don't want to do that. So you line that up so it's at the center, and you line that up so it's at the center there. And then you've got your center. Now, the next thing you want to do, once you've done this, once you're happy with that, And as I said, it doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to be using these two and these two and these two here. So then afterwards you can actually adjust side to side, because what you'll do, you'll put these 4 in, then you will skate on the frames, and you will skate until you are happy that they are in the right place. Then we put the rest of the holes in. Now you do see on the samples that I use, there's only 4 holes. On the ones that are being shipped, there is going to be 6 holes. So like on this one here, for example, you would be at the front there, and you would be here. And then we will be going into these 2, and then later, if you want, you can go into those 2. For skaters on the smaller frames, you're probably not going to need 4 in the back. You're just not going to need them. 2 is going to be more than enough, and at the front you can go here, and then you'll be able to put these 2 in, and that is going to be more than enough. So once we have the placement and we are really happy with it right there, then you take your drill bit, which has got the point, or you take a pen, and then you hold it and you put it right in the center, and then you just press down and turn it, and that's going to give you a nice little hole that you can then drill after. So once we've done that, you just have to be careful not to move the frame. Then we go into this side here, and then this side here. Make sure you get the center, and once you've got those, you are good. You are good to go. And what I also do whilst I'm doing this, you can do the other holes as well, because like these are samples, and I know that this is right, so I don't need to adjust. Sorry, these are the testers, so I'm just going to be putting the holes in anyway, so they're ready. So no one's going to be testing essentially to see if it's in the right place. I know it's in the right place, but some people may want to change with your own boots. So once we've done that, then just now you can see, I don't know if you can see that, you can actually see where the holes are. So I just take the little thing after and I just do a little bit more. So then that's going to be easier for the drill bit to stay in the right place. And we've got the 2 here. Just like that. So you've got your drill, you make sure, oops, gone the wrong way, and you put your little guy in there, put it all the way in, oops, did it the wrong way, that's done. Make sure it's on drill, and then we're going to drill the holes. So then we just take and we put it in place like that, and then just hold it nice and straight, and then just drill. That's one. This is why it's good to do it outside, because then you're not worrying about the bits. I generally find not doing it too fast is better. Now you will only be doing the sliders to start. I'm just doing all of them. And so I'm not going to drill the other ones. I'm just going to put this one on, make sure all the bits are off. Then you're going to swap. Like one of these is great. So it's just got a drill bit, and then it's an extender. So the extenders, I picked up 3 of these for a few pounds on Amazon, different lengths, because these are great. So then when you want to go all the way in, you're not getting stuck. So let's make sure it fits. So put it in. Now, very important, turn this down. I turn it down and I start on about 3, because the worst thing you can do is have it set on drill and ruin your boots. So the next thing we're going to do then, we've got our screws. So I'm going to take a small screw. I'm going to actually get 2 of these out for the sliders. Put them there, hopefully they don't roll away. And I'm going to take 2 out for the back. And they are ready there. So then we take our frame. And I announced something today. Our frames are actually going to have the laser etching on both sides, which is really cool. So then we line everything up. These are all perfect there. And you take your screw and you can just put it in with your fingers to start, because you've got a hole there. You can just put that in a little bit like that. And then you're going to do it nice and slowly. You can do it by hand. I just like to do the drill. And then you go nice and slow. So I just put it in a little bit. Then I take one from the heel, and you can start to put that in a little bit with your fingers as well until it's sitting like that. Then you take your drill and nice and slow, make sure it stays straight. But because you've drilled the hole, it will go in nice and straight, just like that. And then before you tighten it up, I make sure that it's exactly where I want it to be. And once it is, then I will attach the first one that I did. And then I will attach the back one, making sure it is exactly where I want it. Before we do that, and then I will put the two other screws in, making sure everything is lined up, everything looks perfect. And then the last one in the back. And that is all that you will do at this point. So here you see, all done. And at this point, you would put your wheels on and your stopper, and you would go and test. And once everything is great and you are really happy with it, then you would put the remainder of your screws in, which I am going to do now. And as I said, because this is for my taster sessions, I'm just putting them all in so they are ready to be used. Just like this. It's not super interesting to watch now. You guys have seen what you need to see, but and there you have it. Both frames fitted, look really good. And once you have yours, you will have laser etching on both sides, so they won't look plain like this. And if you do have any questions, leave them in the comments. Reach out to me by DM, anywhere you like, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.